You've seen the claims. This penny is worth $1 million. This quarter can make you rich overnight. But is it true? The truth is, most of it is completely fake. Exaggerated prices, misleading hype. That's what we're here to expose. Welcome to Rare Coin Collecting. We reveal the real value, real history, and true rarity of coins that actually matter. From wheat pennies to rare state quarters. We cover it all with facts, not fiction. We explore coins in detailed series, one country at a time. And right now, we're focused on rare US coins. Subscribe now and discover the truth behind the coins. Everyone's heard the hype about the 1999 state quarters, and especially Pennsylvania. Social media's been buzzing with claims that these coins are worth thousands, even tens of thousands. But here's the truth. Most people don't even know what actually makes these coins valuable. Now, we're not talking about random pocket change. We're talking about specific mint marks, striking conditions, and even varieties that most collectors completely overlook. And when you do find the right one, especially in pristine, untouched condition, it could absolutely surprise you. Some of these Pennsylvania quarters have already sold for jaw-dropping amounts on eBay and certified auctions. But not all of them are rare, and not all of them are worth keeping. Let's rewind for a moment. The Pennsylvania quarter was the second release in the U.S. Mint's groundbreaking 50 state quarters program. Released in 1999, it commemorated Pennsylvania's statehood, the second state to ratify the Constitution, and one of the most historically rich in the country. The design features the statue Commonwealth, the keystone symbol, and an outline of the state. A powerful tribute to Pennsylvania's role in American history. But what most people don't realize is how the Denver D, Philadelphia P, and San Francisco mint proofs, SE Silver and S-Clad, versions differ, not just in appearance, but in mintage numbers, strike quality, and collector demand. Add to that the strict grading criteria used by PCGS and NGC, and you start to see why condition, especially MS68 and higher, becomes absolutely critical. And then come the errors. Clashed dies, off-centers, doubling, even coins struck on the wrong planche. Some of these are so subtle, only trained eyes catch them. Others are so dramatic they stop collectors in their tracks. In this video, we're breaking down each version of the 1999 Pennsylvania quarter, starting with the Philadelphia Mint, then Denver, then both San Francisco proofs, clad in silver. We'll dive deep into their real values based on PCGS auction history and active eBay sales. But we're not giving you dollar amounts just yet. Stick around, because that part, the truth about what these coins are actually worth, comes right in the middle, when most viewers are already gone. But not you, you're still here. And that means you're serious about coins. Let's get into it. All right, now let's go deeper into one of the most misunderstood coins from the early state quarter era, the 1999 D, Pennsylvania quarter. At first glance, it seems common. Over 358 million were minted in Denver. You've probably seen dozens in your change. But here's the truth. Most people have no idea what to actually look for in this coin. And that's exactly what we're about to uncover. Now first, let's break this down. The D mint mark stands for the Denver Mint, and this quarter was released as part of the U.S. Mint's state quarter program, the largest coin project in American history at the time. Pennsylvania was the second state honored in the series, right after Delaware. But even with its early release, the Denver version has hidden details most collectors ignore. Let's start with the strike quality. In 1999, the mint was in a rush. Coins were being produced at a massive scale, not for collectors, but for general circulation. That means quality control wasn't a top priority. Coins came out with weak strikes, missing detail on the Liberty Bell, flat lettering, and contact marks from being tossed around with millions of others. So when a 1999 D shows up with crisp details, clean fields, and no distractions under magnification, it instantly becomes valuable, not because it's rare by mintage, but because flawless examples simply aren't surviving. This is where serious collectors begin to chase top-grade coins, and where the market starts to heat up. But that's just the beginning. Let's talk grading, and this is important. Most Denver coins you find today, they're barely MS63 to MS65 if you're lucky. Some might look shiny but under a loop, scratches, dings, weak relief. But when a coin gets certified, M68 or better by PCGS or NGC, and that's a huge if, we're talking about a coin that may have been untouched since 1999, stored in climate-controlled conditions, and handled only with gloves. These top-tier grades are where the money is. and they're extremely scarce. Want a twist? Most people overlook the edges, but edge details matter. Look for clean, sharp reading and no signs of discoloration or wear. Even subtle things like a slightly off-center strike can change a coin's story. And then there's the real chase, errors. There are some known error varieties from the 1999D Pennsylvania quarter. You might find a die chip on the keystone, a filled die in the motto, or even doubling around the date or the reverse lettering. Now, none of these are guaranteed to be valuable, but when graded and verified, some of them are extremely collectible. And don't fall for fake hype online. There are viral videos out there showing these coins selling for thousands, but what they don't show you is the grade, the certification, and the actual buyer demand. Here on Rare Coin Collecting, we deal in reality. If you want to know what really matters in coin collecting, this is where you'll find it. Here's another layer, coin roll hunting. Most people stopped paying attention to 1999 state quarters a long time ago, but that's your advantage. If you're lucky enough to find an unopened roll of 1999D quarters, especially from a U.S. mint set or bank issued, don't break it open casually. You may be sitting on a condition rarity. One coin in that roll in pristine state could change everything. Let's also talk market behavior. Over the years, the value of modern state quarters has seen ups and downs, mostly due to misinformation. Some people buy into the hype and then realize the coin isn't what they thought. Others quietly collect certified examples, building real value over time. The truth? This market rewards patience, research, and grading knowledge, not hype. Now here's the most fascinating part. Out of the 358 million plus minted, how many 1999D Pennsylvania quarters exist today in top condition? The answer is almost none. Not because they were lost, but because they were used, handled, spent, pocketed, tossed in jars. Every scratch, every fingerprint, every nick over 25 years has taken a toll. So when someone shows up with a coin graded MS68 or higher, collectors notice. And some of them are quietly willing to pay for it, especially if that coin is part of a full, matched grade state quarter set. And that's where things get really interesting. We're not just talking about a coin anymore. We're talking about a piece of a much larger puzzle. Completing a full 50 state set in high grade is one of the most ambitious projects a modern collector can take on. And finding a clean 1999D is one of the toughest steps, because most were damaged before collectors even got started. So if you're watching this and thinking, wait, I have one of those somewhere, go find it. But don't just look with your eyes. Use a loupe. Check the fields, the rims, the strike. Look for anything unusual. And most importantly, don't clean it. A natural, untouched coin is always worth more than a polished one. But before we go there, let me leave you with this. The 99D Pennsylvania quarter is proof that even common coins can hide uncommon value. You just have to know where and how to look. Stay with us, because the next coin is where things really take a sharp turn. They say the Pennsylvania quarter is common, that it's just another 1999 coin from the statehood series. But that's only what people say when they haven't seen this version. This isn't your average quarter from circulation. This is the 1999 clad proof Pennsylvania quarter. Struck not for spending, but for showcasing. And if you're thinking it's worth just 25 cents, I need you to stay with me, because what I'm about to show you could seriously change how you look at modern coins forever. Let's back up a bit. 99 was the launch year for the U.S. Mint's ambitious state quarters program, and Pennsylvania was the second state honored. Its reverse design, created by John Mercanti, shows the statue Commonwealth with a keystone symbol, representing the state's nickname, the Keystone State. But what's really fascinating isn't the artwork. It's how the mint released 4 completely different versions of this same coin. You had the basic D mint for Denver, the P mint for Philly, and then 2 S mint versions, S-clad and S-silver proof. Now here's where things get interesting. The S-clad proof wasn't meant to circulate. It came from a special collector-only proof set, struck using polished dies on specially prepared planchets. And these coins weren't just pressed once. They were struck twice, slowly, to bring out mirror-like fields and frosted details. These are the quarters that shimmer when tilted, the ones with crystal-clear designs, no smudging, no wear, unless they've been mishandled. And here's what most casual collectors still don't realize. Not all proof coins are valuable, but not all proof coins are equal either. Let's talk numbers. The U.S. Mint produced about 3.7 million of the S-clad proof Pennsylvania quarters in 1999. That sounds like a lot, until you realize that over 700 million of the regular circulation coins were minted that year. That makes these proof versions rare by comparison, especially in perfect condition. But there's a catch. Since these coins were sold in sealed plastic proof sets, most of them survived. And that keeps prices lower, unless yours stands out in one very specific way. Grading. If you're holding one of these coins and it's still in the original US Mint proof set, untouched, unscratched, pristine, then you have a shot. But if you've got one that's been professionally graded by PCGS or NGC as PR70 decam, perfect grade, deep cameo, then buckle up. Because this is where the market really starts to surprise people. According to PCGS, a 1999 BS, clad proof Pennsylvania, quarter-graded PR70 decam, has a value estimate of around $85 to $125, depending on the auction. But here's where it gets more real. Recent eBay
listings in 2025
show multiple PR70 decams selling for $90, $105, even $130, especially if they're certified in first strike slabs or older PCGS holders. That's over 500 times face value, and it's still a 1999 quarter. But even if your coin isn't a PR70, don't ignore it. A PR69 decam version is much more common, yet it still sells for around $10 to $20. And that's not bad for a quarter. You might have sitting in an old proof set somewhere. Now here's the part collectors often miss. Many of these coins have light haze, spotting, or milkiness, especially around the mirrored fields. That knocks them down to PR68 or lower, where values drop below $5. So if you want real value, condition is king. Store them properly, away from heat, humidity, and sunlight. And be careful of fakes. Some sellers try to pass off regular proof-like coins as real proofs, or swap out coins from damaged sets into newer-looking holders. If you're buying, stick to graded coins from PCGS or NGC, or sealed US Mint proof sets with untouched packaging. So is the 1999 S-clad proof quarter rare. In raw numbers, not really, but in perfect, untouched, deep cameo condition, yes, absolutely. It's one of those coins that's undervalued by the public, but quietly sought after by serious collectors who know what to look for. And that's exactly what we do here on Rare Coin Collecting. We're not about hype. We're here to help collectors, sellers, and investors understand the real value, not the fantasy clickbait you see everywhere. In the next segment, we're diving into the S-Silver proof version of this same quarter. And believe me, that one has even more drama behind it. But before we go, if you're a coin investor, collector, buyer, or seller, and you're serious about knowing what actually matters, then this channel is made for you. We're on a mission to spread real, authentic coin knowledge. No hype, no clickbait. Make sure to like, comment with what state you're collecting, and subscribe so you never miss our deep dives into the world of real coin collecting. Perfect. Now let's continue your long-form video by covering the 1999 Pennsylvania State quarter with the Philadelphia Mint. Now let's talk about the Philadelphia version, the one with the P Mint mark, struck in massive quantities, but hiding a few secrets that most collectors don't know. In 1999, the Philadelphia Mint produced 3 49,000 Pennsylvania State quarters, that's over 349 million coins. With numbers that high, you'd assume it's basically worthless, right? But here's where condition, rarity, and grading change everything. The vast majority of these coins were released directly into circulation, meaning they were used, abused, tossed into pockets, vending machines, and jars. Finding one in pristine condition, especially an MS67 or higher, is far from easy. And here's what most people miss. The 999p quarters were the first of the statehood program, and early dies weren't fully refined. So some show soft strikes, die fatigue, or even light plancher marks, which can hurt value, but also make clean specimens even more desirable. Now for grading reality, at MS60 to MS63, this coin is common and sells for pocket change. But if you find one in MS67 or above, with no marks, strong strike, full luster, and well-centered design, you're looking at a coin worth holding on to. And the big twist? PCGS population reports show only a handful of MS68s exist. So while 349 million were made, almost none survive in that uppermost tier. And here's something else to watch for. There are rumors, yes, we've seen the claims online, about double dies or off-center strikes on the 1999 P quarter. Some are legitimate, but many are exaggerated or completely fake. Always cross-check with PCGS or NGC. Never trust viral photos without real certifications. So what actually matters for the 1999 P Mint mark P is located on the obverse under In God We Trust. Strike quality. Many 1999 Ps have a weak strike. Strong ones are rare. Surface. Look for clean fields, no contact marks, and full luster. Grading potential. Only high-grade certified coins bring real money. Certified examples. PCGS MS67s sell consistently, while MS68s are ultra-rare. The bottom line? Don't believe the hype about every old quarter being worth thousands. But don't ignore the facts either, because this coin, in the right condition, graded by the right service, and sold at the right time, can bring real value. And if you've found one, don't rush to sell it. Get it evaluated, certified, compared. This hobby rewards patience and knowledge, not quick flips. Let's move to the final coin in this set. The 999 is silver proof, and uncover what makes it a standout in this group. They keep showing up everywhere. Viral videos, claiming this one quarter from 1999 could make you thousands. You've seen the titles. This quarter sold for $3,000. Don't spend this rare coin. But what's really going on here? Is the 1999 Pennsylvania state quarter actually valuable? Or is this just another overhyped coin trap? Let's break it down. Because today, we're going deep into all four versions of this coin. The Philadelphia P, Denver D, San Francisco Clad Proof S, and the Silver Proof Cyrus, and showing you exactly what matters when it comes to real value. No hype, no fluff. Just real numismatic facts that collectors and sellers need to know. Alright, let's start with the Denver Mint. The 1999 D, Pennsylvania quarter was struck in massive numbers. 332,000 coins, to be exact. That's over 358 million. So by default, this isn't a rare coin, unless condition and grade say otherwise. Now here's what separates the average from the exceptional. Grading. Coins from circulation with scratches, wear, or dull luster aren't worth more than 25 cents. But if you find a 1999 D in MS67 or MS68, now you're talking about serious collector interest. Why? Because these grades are extremely rare. PCGS has certified only a tiny number of MS68s, and that drives demand. But beware viral posts. Claiming thousands for these coins usually leave out one critical fact: the certified grade. That $3,000 sale? It was likely a perfect MS68 Plus, or higher from a trusted grading company like PCGS or NGC. Not just any shiny coin from your change jar. Also, don't get tricked by the buzz around supposed errors. There are legitimate errors like die cracks, off-center strikes, or doubled dies. But those are incredibly rare. Most errors people claim online are just damage. So if you find a clean, sharp Denver quarter with strong luster and no contact, marks in it may be worth grading. Otherwise, it's a common coin in average shape. Alright, now let's move to the San Francisco Clad Proof, the one with the S mint mark. In 1999, the San Francisco Mint produced two versions of this quarter, the Clad Proof and the Silver Proof. Let's tackle the Clad version first. These coins weren't made for circulation. They were struck specifically for collectors, using polished dies and high pressure, minting that gives them that mirror-like finish and frosted design details. The mintage, just 3713359. Clad Proof quarters, significantly lower than their circulation cousins. But even here, condition matters. Most proof sets were handled with care, but some weren't. If your coin has fingerprints, haze, or even light scratches, it may not grade well. On the other hand, coins graded PR69 DCAM or PR70 DCAM, especially the Perfect 70, have held strong collector demand. But let's be honest, it's because we're rare coin collecting, and we don't hype things up. These Clad Proofs aren't going to make you rich. Even in top condition, they're affordable collectibles. What gives them value is completeness in proof sets, not rarity on their own. However, don't ignore the silver version. Now on to the Philadelphia Mint, the one with the P mint mark. This version had a mintage of 349,000 coins. Again, nothing rare in raw numbers, but just like with the Denver coin, condition changes everything. What most collectors don't realize is that early Philadelphia state quarters had noticeable quality control issues. Some coins from 1999 show weak strikes, planche flaws, and die wear, which makes a sharply struck, flawless example even more desirable. Grading is key. Anything below MS65 is pretty common. But certified MS67 and especially MS68s are extremely rare. PCGS population data shows that just a few MS68s exist, and those bring strong prices in auctions. Also be cautious of fake errors or exaggerated listings. If someone claims their 1999 P quarter is worth thousands, check for certification. If it's not slabbed by PCGS or NGC, it's likely not what they say it is. The takeaway? Don't ignore your 1999 P quarter, but focus on coins with real grading potential. That's where the true value lies. Now finally, let's talk about the San Francisco silver proof. This is the one most people forget, but serious collectors pay attention. The 1998 silver proof quarter was minted in far lower numbers, 804,565 coins. That's right, fewer than 1 million. Unlike the clad proof, this one is 90% silver, giving it not just collectible value, but intrinsic bullion value too. These were part of silver proof sets and many were stored carefully. But like all proofs, grading makes the difference between a $10 coin and one worth far more. A flawless PR70 DCAM silver proof can command solid collector prices, especially when populations are low. And what about spotting the difference? If you have a 1999 proof quarter and aren't sure if it's silver or clad, weigh it. The silver version weighs 6.25 grams, while the clad version weighs 5.67 grams. You can also hear the difference. Silver coins have a distinct, high-pitched ring when gently tapped. So let's wrap it all up. The 1999 Pennsylvania quarter is not rare by mintage, but it hides real value in the details. Denver and Philadelphia, only high grade. San Francisco clad proof, popular among collectors, but affordable and less graded PR70 DCAM. San Francisco silver proof, fewer than 1 million made. A real standout for silver stackers and proof collectors alike. If you're a coin investor, collector, buyer, or seller, and you're serious about knowing what actually matters, then this channel is made for you. We're on a mission to spread real, authentic coin knowledge. This is Rare Coin Collecting. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss the truth behind the next coin.